So, I was playing Papanga. I was playing Papanga's Pit of Papanga, Super Skyzo, and I realized that I should probably be recording it. And so I turned on my microphone, and now I'm recording it. Obligatory fake dev exit. I think it's an entire half a thing, and then there's like a star, and you've got to hit those so that you don't have to continuously collect a star because they keep bouncing down. Yes, Super Skyzo, Panga's really difficult Kaizo. It's got like a really, I don't know what the completion rate is. Yeah, I got about to the end of the 5 bars. It's got a completion rate of 0.03. Only 246 people have completed it so far, and I want to be 247. So I'm gonna grind this out. And judging by my own skill level, this should make a rather nice 2-hour video, as long as I'm cutting to all of the interesting parts. Because that's just me. Jumped aside. Yeah, I did that, and then the thwomp hit the yellow block, and I assume what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to hit the invisible Kaizo block that's there after the thwomps. And that'll release a P-switch, I guess? I'm not sure. I assume it's a P-switch. We've had a P-switch running pretty much this entire thing. And continue on from there. I haven't seen anything past this. Something I do know there's a spring at the end that's gonna try and push me back off the edge at the goalpost. Because I've got a friend that already completed this, and he had a very loud yell when he found that spring. So I'm gonna hopefully avoid that. There's also a troll block there. See, I was gonna avoid it and say that there was, but then I hit it by saying that there was. There's also a troll block there at the beginning. I'll deliberately hit that one, or I'll try and deliberately hit it and I'll fail. I'm pretty sure it's like, no, that's not it. Where is it? Somewhere, there it is. There's a Kaizo block there. That's why I've been kind of doing it more like that, without going all over the edge. I could probably skip like an entire phase of Bullet Bill. I wonder if I just held right. Nah. I got really lucky that first time, I guess. So yeah. This video should just be a couple of cuts around to the most interesting parts where I'm not failing. So, yeah. I've just been dying repetitively. I think I've died about 20 times on this one spot there. I don't know why I can't get past it. I had this part down, and then I deliberately died to a Kaizo block. Oh, there we go. And yeah, died there. What am I doing wrong now? Something's changed. What is it? There we go. I'm gonna die here though. Jump, jump, jump. More to the right. Okay, I guess I've fixed whatever that problem was. Never mind. Oh, I could have jumped on the thwomp and then hit the P-switch. There might be there's probably like a global loading contraption or something. at the end, or that makes it so that you can't just cheese it by pressing the P switch again afterwards. I don't know. If you stuck a shell on a platform with, or on a blue platform on a track so that it's loaded with it's bouncing across. Yeah, if it's like bouncing. Oh, here. If you had like a shell that's bouncing up and down a spring against a block, no, that'd activate. That'd like make the block turn, wouldn't it? Okay, yeah. If you had a shell that wasn't, moving yet, bouncing up and down on a blue platform, so that it's globally loaded with a coin above it that would disappear when the P switch runs out. So when the P switch turns off, it bounces upwards and hits a spring that's above it through either a cloud or a platform or a one-way. You could make it hit a sideways spring so that it starts bouncing, and that could hit a power block, and that could destroy something that could destroy a muncher, or a large muncher, which would drop a bullet blaster down. So I guess it could be quite easy to make a never let the P switch turn off contraption. Do platforms globally load when off? Like, do you have to load them first before it becomes globally loaded? I'm not sure. Every enemy and all the objects and like spikes and stuff, they've all got shadows on the background. But my question is, what's the shadows reflecting onto? Or what's the shadows going onto? Because there doesn't seem to be much of anything for it to reflect onto. Like, I'd understand a shadow if there was like a background wall behind it, but you can't really have a shadow on air. Well, actually, it depends how thick the air is. If you had a really dense air, like air that's made of, well, that's hyper frozen or something, I don't know. Cold enough so that the air condensates. I reckon you could have a shadow on air, but if the air is condensated... Oh, I think I did that wrong. Oh, there's nothing even there. Okay, apparently there's not supposed to be like a P switch or something close to it. I guess I'm just supposed to continue on the right. Oh. Am I supposed to grab that P switch? No, I'm not. Jump up, you hit that one up. Oh, this... I didn't even see the P switch that's hanging off the roof. I didn't even know P switches could hang off roofs. Actually, I did. I saw it in the story mode. There was a P switch on a roof there. In some Ghost Last level. Ah, Mario Maker's 2's wonderfully creative additions. If these guys add munchers hanging off the top of ceilings, I'll be ecstatic. It's a very simple thing, just a muncher. Ah, the beautiful and wonderful world of pointless tangents. Also, what are bullet bills made out of? If they're made out of any sort of iron, I don't know, steel, they definitely shouldn't stop moving when... Oh, I'm probably supposed to make both those blocks spin, and then there's something the bullet bill's got to do later on. I'm not sure. would I really like to know what something weighs? Bonsai bill. Is that... Oh, the... Oh, Bonsai Bill's eyes look like they're behind glass. And as they might be behind glass because they've got like a shadow and they've got a glint. I'm not sure if they're supposed to look like they're behind glass, but they sure do. So, I sat at this constant attempt after attempt after attempt for another 5 hours or something, but this is the best attempt that I got. So, this is what you're getting. I'm done. Like, I'm just... yeah. I'll probably give it another couple of hours, but I've got to edit this and upload it, so yeah.